Yo. Oh, my fault. Hope everybody can hear me. Let me see. Let me go to my channel and check. Make sure I'm live. Yeah. Join me. Okay, cool. All right. Let me share my screen with you guys real quick while we chop it up and eat. Let's go here. There we go. All right. So thank you. Getting a message from Marcus. Shout out to Marcus. Yeah. I'm in a trade right now. Well, I actually just exited, and that's what we're going to talk about in this live. So hopefully I can teach you guys something of value. All right. So we're going to wait for some people to get in. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy my breakfast because man's got to eat. When everybody gets back in, I'll start explaining what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday, I went live as well around this time. Let me change this title real quick. Join me live at 1 second. Let me change this title real quick. Go back to my, go to content, go to live. Videos. Oh, how do I do this? So dashboard. Warning. What's the warning for? Open Studio. Is lower than recommended. Oh, okay, I see. Oops. So I said I'm trading live. Join me. All right, so somebody's watching right now. Cool, somebody's already in. If you're joining, I'm just setting up the stream. Just trying to make it work out here. Yo, did you know you were live? Yeah, I know I'm live. I'm just trying to change the... Hey, Malik, what's going on? You just sent an IG DM for later. I just sent you. Okay, cool. I'll check out the DM real soon. We're trading live. Let me switch my screen for you guys so you guys can see what's going on here. 1 second, guys. All right, cool. This is the trade that I'm kind of in. I've already exited most of my positions, but we're just aiming for a 1 to 2. If you guys joined me last night we went live around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we chopped it up. We did a bit of analysis and, back testing. And today we are currently, kind of in a live trade. I've already exited some positions. If you guys watch my videos, you'll know that I never interfere with my trades, but I kind of took a really bad trade the other day. So I had to bring the basically recover the money. So that's what I did. And I've closed most, and I'm just trying to see if this is going to pan out. So, and right now, guys, I'm trading on about, I think I have 9 accounts that I'm currently doing trading on. And today I traded about 3 of them. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, someone says set and forget it. Bro, trust me, it has helped me a lot. It's how I became consistently profitable. Setting and forgetting is absolutely the way to go. But let's talk about some, this trade breakdown a little bit. I'm actually going to release a video, excuse me, later on to explain why I got into this position. But if we look at it from the 1 hour, look at what we're looking at. So yesterday I explained my my reasoning behind some of these trades. Let me see if I can go back a little bit or to a different chart. That's cleaner. Perfect. And let me take these things off real quick. All right, cool. So essentially you can see here that on the 1 hour, right, price has come all the way from, we were trending upwards, then we broke towards the downside. Then we kind of did this thing in a channel, right? We broke down. There was a strong level. If you look left, there was a strong level from over here, right? That price reacted to. Okay, so it kind of like consolidated a little bit and then it took off. When it took off, it retraced a little bit, went up this way. And you can see here that eventually we ended up breaking some of these highs. Now it's a bit of a, yesterday we were talking about it, it looked a little bit like a liquidity grab, but nonetheless, it still has penetrated that area. So we can anticipate that we're potentially going upwards. So this morning when I was getting to my analysis, I simply looked at the charts and said, okay, 1 hour, I can tell we might be retracing. You can see here that after taking these highs, price may want to come down a little bit to either this gap or this gap and then take it upwards. However, in the trading session of 8:30 to basically 11 Eastern Standard Time, price still gives you some really good moves. So that's what I always look for every day. I trade on the 1 minute and I use the 15 to kind of mark up my zone. So on the 15, I said, okay, there are two places that we have to look at. The first one is here. This gap was already here at the time. Let me just click this. Okay, this was already here at the time. And then this one was here as well. And I said, okay, price is going to respond to one of these two levels. So when we go down to the 1 minute, in fact, let me just kind of do a little bit of a replay. Let's go back to about right here. All right, so price was coming down and this was around 9:30. So usually at 9:30, if you were here yesterday, I was explaining that 9:30 is where, like, if you're in the wrong side of the trade, you're going to get taken out. So imagine if, because we were in this zone, you entered here. Let's say you entered at this break or something for whatever reason. You entered here, you put your stops here, you're aiming for a 1 to 2. Right now, it's currently 9:29. I always tell you guys, and you'll hear me say this a lot, that if you're on the wrong side of the trade or the move before 9:30, what 9:30 will take you out for sure. Like no matter what, it'll take you out first. So what ended up happening here? As soon as it hit 9:30, first thing, takes you out the trade, breaks the low. So yesterday I was explaining that I don't usually take my trades before 8:30. It's always between 8:30 and 11. But recently I'm learning that just if you can wait till 9:30, it's usually best. So what happened? Price continued to go down and go down and go down. And then it came very close to this level here. And it happens sometimes where price will come to this level. And once you see the pattern that we always look for, it feels like 9 to 10 a.m. New York session is the biggest move. Absolutely. Absolutely. 9 to 10 a.m. is where the biggest moves happen. Because you know what happened? As soon as price did this and broke this level right here, I literally hopped into the trade. I had two positions. One here. Oops, my fault. I had one here like this. Actually, I waited for it to retrace. So I got in like this. And then I had another position that I was waiting for price to come and tap right there. Because this is how I maximize my trades. I do these two. I set this one for a 1 to 2 like this. And then I set this one here for the same thing. And that ends up being usually a little bit more. On average, depending on how far price goes before it retraces, I'm getting around like a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 by the time price retraces, because it's usually something like this between the distance. But anyways, this is what I was thinking of. So price, I got in, and then what did price do? Price just started shooting upwards. That's it. So right now where we are on the chart is price is almost at my TP on the other one. And look, you can see it shot down. And I have already closed majority of my positions, letting some just run. And the reason why I did it is because as much as I love to set and forget, when you're down, you have to kind of take what the market gives you. You start to look at the candles. You start to see what's going on. Sometimes it's best to just close and be like, it's okay. I made a 1 to 8 instead of a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 5. 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 1.8 instead of a 1 to 2. You can live to trade another day as long as you're not in a negative, right? So, Caramel Live said, so far retail traders, it's super risky, I think. Oh, so for retail traders, it's risky. Yeah. If you don't, like, all I trade is indices, right? So I'm really familiar with the way they move and what they set up to do right before these things happen. So if you watch my videos, a lot of my trades are just like this. Around 9:30, usually this is the move at 9:30. It'll just come, do its thing, and it'll shoot up. And mind you, technically, if you look at it from, let's say, even the 15-minute standpoint, you can look at this area from here to here and say, well, price is kind of going down. You might want to be careful as to what's going on. But again, I know indices very well. Even in bearish markets like this, I'm still catching buys and sells. You know what I mean? The head and shoulders pattern is beautiful. Yeah, I thought the same thing when I was looking at it too. I'm like, bro, that is a really good head and shoulders form for sure. Full breakthrough, the neckline and all. Absolutely. Right here. if you guys are unfamiliar with what Caramel Life is speaking about, this pattern right here, okay? Head and shoulders. And usually if it's going to reverse, you wait for it to break the neckline like this, okay? So price broke the neckline. You wait for price to retrace to this level. You take it for your 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 5, whatever your parameters are set to. On that note, whenever I enter a trade like this, I simply move my, now before, as Caramel was saying, I would do a set and forget type situation, right? So I would easily, like my trade would be at this point still open all the way. Nothing's closed, no partials, nothing. All my videos before, you'll see me go sometimes all the way like up here, just like this. Price would come all the way down and take me out, and I would let it happen. But it was the way that I was passing these challenges and, you know, getting it done. It was one of those things where I would just put the trade in and I walk away. Nowadays, I sit here and I watch, because that's happened a couple times, and I'm like, man, had I just taken a bit of profit on those couple trades, I would have passed that challenge in like three trades. So that's what I'm doing now. So right now, what we're observing is we are trying to see if this trade would have played out overall. And if it doesn't end up hitting my TP at all, we want to see why and what we can do to adjust. Okay. So that's essentially what we're doing. What I was trying to do this morning is I was trying to get you guys to watch me take this trade live and execute. But bro, I had 3 different programs open. Okay. Right now I'm doing some on futures. I'm doing some on, I'm doing 2 others on different programs, and they all have different software. So one is Match Trader, the other one is MetaTrader, and the other one is on TradingView. You see what I'm saying? So it's challenging to kind of manage all that and then stream at the same time, but I'll get used to it. This is my second time streaming ever, you know, live. So, you know, drop a thumbs up or a like or something in the comment. You know what I mean? We're trying to build a community here. I'm going to open up a channel or an avenue, like I said in my other one, where we can do one-on-ones. I think that we will be able to really build a good community and help each other trade. I see a lot of like, I feel like in this industry right now, there's a lot of cash grabbing going on. And I'm not, you know, get your money and make your money how you make your money. But I just feel like we can help each other out a bit. Essentially, also the breakdown. Do you trade Forex at all? Okay, so let me read some of the comments. Donovan said, yo, shout out to Donovan. That's my boy Donovan, enjoying the show. Nice breakdown, thank you. Caramel Life said, do you trade Forex at all? Also, the breakdown is 10 out of 10. The stream quality is great. Do you have a Discord yet? No, not yet. Okay, so let me start from the first one. First off, thank you for the comments on the breakdown. I really appreciate it. Secondly, I do not trade Forex, but you know what? We could, if you guys want, I could live stream like, you know, for the next couple of days, just us trying to do Forex. I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like I only do indices, but I'm sure some of this can work in the Forex market. So I'll definitely give that a shot. Thank you for the comments about the stream quality as well. And do I have a Discord? Not yet, but I'm working on that. I'm going to have something soon where we can, you know, talk. And then also I'm opening up, like I said, a link where you guys can actually book calls like one-on-one, and we'll talk for like 15 minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe even an hour, depending on how busy the day is. Because if you guys don't know, I run 4 businesses with my wife outside of all this. So I have the 4 businesses, and then I have this YouTube channel. I do videos with Marcus and other companies. And then I also have the bot that I'm building. I was talking to the developer this morning. He's having trouble with the bot that I'm trying to build. So it's a lot on my plate, you know what I mean? But we will get these things all done. Caramel say, yeah, I only do Forex, so I need the breakdown. LMAO. All right, let's go take a look at, why don't you guys suggest some pairs we could take a look at? By the way, if my mic is too loud, let me know, because on my screen here, it's showing that I keep hitting the red limiter. So if it's too loud, let me know. I'll kind of like tone it down or scale back. But yeah, you guys suggest some Forex pairs and let's take a look. And while you guys do that, I will eat my breakfast that my lovely wife brought before she headed out to one of our businesses. She oversees that one mainly, so. Let's see what else we can look at, guys. This trade is retracing as well, going back up, so that looks good. Okay, AUD CAD. Let's take a look at that. All right, let's take a look. Donovan said my mic's on point. Thank you, Donovan. Make some okay profit yesterday on it, but overtraded and lost out. It happens, bro. The other day, I was doing the trade on futures. I made a stupid mistake. I was up on that account. I was literally 1 trade away from passing the combine. Because I was managing so many things at one time, I put in like 3 contracts, turned around and forgot about it, managed the other account, came back, I was down $900. But I made that money back and some today, so thank God. But you can really, trading is about discipline and about you. It's really tough. People don't understand. They think once you learn a strategy, that's the end all be all. It's your habits that makes it really difficult to stay consistent and to be profitable. All right, so AUD CAD, let me take all this stuff off. By the way, guys, if you guys want to know what these things are, this thing here is sessions. Okay, so this just tells me New York session, the window for it, right? So it's I think it's programmed from 8 to, I program mine for 8 to 11, even though New York session is like 8 to 3 or 8 to 5, something like that, Eastern Standard Time. But for me, because I don't trade past 11, it's 8 to 11. This thing here is an indicator for 1 hour gaps. It just kind of helps me. If I notice that as I'm trading towards the upside, 1 hour gaps are forming, it's a good indication that we're going in the right direction because price usually respects those gaps. This here is a daily candle. So this shows me at all times what the daily candle is doing for the day. So when I come to the chart at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever the case is, I can see already if we're, if the day is bearish or bullish. And then this right here tells me right away what the next news events are. So I never actually have to check like my FX book or FX Factory, none of that. All of that is here. So I can see right away for the pair I'm trading. You can see there's news for the Australian dollar at 12:30 in the morning. And then last 11, this is 10:40 at night. Yesterday there was news as well, right? Because that was the 7th. Yeah. And then today at 8:30 there was news on the Canadian dollar as well, right? So this helps me to keep track of Carol said we need a YouTube video of your indicators. Don't worry, I got you guys. I'm gonna put it all out there. I'll share everything with you guys. But this helps me to kind of just stay. It minimizes all the things I have to do because I used to have a checklist. Check news, check this, check that. Now I ain't got to do all that. All right, so let me take it off in the meantime just so we can focus. All right, so we can see here. Let me actually go to the daily real quick. All right, because what I try to do before I trade any pair, I want to understand what this pair is like. So for example, let me just go back to US 30 very quickly. Okay, US 30. I want to show you guys something very quickly. So on US 30, you can see that price, for the most part, goes up, right? For the most part, it's a pair that goes up. So this helps me to understand the characteristics of this pair. So before I start trading US 30, I'm already somewhat buy biased, even though you can catch some good sells, and I do both, but it helps me to understand that. And this is what really helped me to become profitable with indices as well. As I realized that even when the market is bearish, you will still catch really good retracements because of the fact that this pair naturally always wants to go up because it's tied to the stock market. I need a drink break. All right. So AUD CAD, right? When we go back to that and we look at it on the weekly, now I want you guys' participation. There are 3 market phases, right? We have, or let me just say there are some market conditions. We have consolidation, we have the market is trending up, and we have the market is trending down. Looking at this, would you say this pair usually trends up, trends down, or just usually consolidates? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Or let me be like these streamers. What do you guys think, chat? What do you guys think, chat? So let me know in the comments, in the chat real quick, what you guys think. And take your time, no rush. There's no right or wrong answer in a sense, because I was saying this yesterday on the live. Trading is about you. I will look at the chart way differently than, let's say, Donovan, right? Donovan will look at the chart and say, bro, this thing is, to me, it's going down or it's going up, whatever. And I'll be like, oh, to me, it's going up or down. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand what you're looking for and execute, and you're consistent and profitable. So yes, Caramel said consolidate. It's kind of all over the place. Absolutely. Now, Caramel, since I think you're the one who recommended AUD CAD, right? Where we at? Who recommended AUD CAD? Is the comment gone? Or is the person oh, right there. It was Caramel. Yeah, cool. So since you recommended AUD CAD or talked about it, before looking at this, what kind of pair did you think this is a pair that goes up, down, or consolidates? Like, was your answer different than what you gave now, or was it the same? And everybody else, don't leave Caramel by himself. You did. Yeah, you did for sure. Don't leave him by himself. Come on, guys. Looking at this, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a pair that naturally consolidates, trends up, or trends down? This is consolidation, by the way, guys. When you see price moving like this within a certain range, okay, this is consolidation. I usually always draw a box over it, okay? And then you have what's called the expansion. So price will go up, right? Expand a little bit, go somewhere else, and then go. Yesterday, I explained how I use this exact trading model to catch news trades. I don't trade news, but I've traded once the last week or the week before. I took a trade on futures where I was literally to the tick, price tapped my area, shot up 1 to 6 in 5 seconds. The whole trade took me 5 seconds. Okay. Donovan said, since it, okay, Cameron said, no, it was the same. Okay, perfect. Donovan says, since it's weekly, it's on consolidation phase. Zoom a bit in the chat. Zoom a bit the chat. Okay, I didn't understand the last part, Donovan, so please help me out with more information. But Donovan is overall saying that it's consolidating. Okay, cool. So we have a couple answers already that this is a pair or a pair that consolidates. Good. So this is good for us to understand, which means when price is going up, this is not a pair that you want to hold. Like if you're a swing trader, you got to be careful with pairs like this because it'll only trend up for so long, right? And it'll only trend down for so long. You can easily just switch spots all the time. All right, cool. Now I could easily do the whole, let's draw some, areas of support and resistance and all that stuff, but it's not that important right now. We just need to understand what the pair is like. Let's go to the daily. All right, so for the daily, obviously all the way back here is like 2022. We don't need to look at 1959, what happened with the Australian dollar. That's not relevant to us. What we care about right now is in the interim of price action, what's happening. So we can see here that price initially was trending up, right? Came down. Now, the question I have to ask here is, before it went up, did it break this low? Oh, I think I understand what Donovan is saying. Donovan, are you saying I should zoom in a bit more for the chat to see? Is that what you're asking? Because like obviously for me, I have a big screen, so I could probably see it easier than you guys on your phone or on your monitor. But anyways, did this level get broken? Okay, I'm gonna let you guys kind of like answer it a little bit, but just to kind of speed this up, let me just go ahead and help you guys out. We have to look at this being the last lowest point, and what happened? Price broke that. So that's interesting. When price takes a low and starts moving this way, it's gonna do, I meant to zoom the candlesticks. Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So yeah, so like to zoom in like that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so when price, it looks like it broke the previous low. Yes, exactly. It broke the previous low. So why is this important? We talked about this yesterday. Whenever you see price doing something like this, we call it a liquidity grab, but it's for a reason. It's usually an indication that price, even though it's ranging all the way here, because look at this. When price is trending up, it's trending up. When it's trending down, it's trending down. But if you've noticed over here, price is not going up as sharply as it was, let's say in this range. It's going up, down a little bit, it's a little choppy towards the upside. What does this tell you? It usually tells you that you see this move that happened here. We were expecting something like this. At some point, price is going to find some area, support, resistance, order block, a gap, something to retrace down to go towards the downside. Because this break of structure, right? Or even if it's like a little wick or whatever, sometimes it's an indication that even though price is trending back up, it's actually just going to a certain point where it will look for a great area to bounce off of and then just shoot down. Indices do this a lot, okay? Now, before I used to use fibs, and I'll show you what my fib settings were before. You see this? Let me get rid of this real quick. And even this. You see these settings here? Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys to see. Let me see if I can even change the color. This is horrendous. Let's make the... Okay, let me change the background real quick. Make the background like a gray or something. Maybe a black. That's even worse, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't listen to me. But anyways, let me just tell you guys what it is. So we have the 100%, 76.4%, 61.8%, 50%, and 100. And you're probably asking, why am I using just those settings? The reason why I used to use these settings is because I would have a strategy where I would always price whenever it's retracing, especially for like an optimal entry. It usually comes to around the 76.4 line. And when you get in, you put your stops right here. You put your take profit just below this, and I would usually get like a 1 to 5. Karma says, sounds like me always hating my settings. Bro, trust me, this is the life always. So essentially what I would do is that I would wait for the entry around here, and it was hitting. But the problem I had with this strategy is it took forever to set up. no matter the time frame, like, well, one, it wasn't that consistent on lower time frames. It was a lot consistent on higher time frames, and I always had to wait forever for it to set up. So I just kind of like ditched the whole thing, but I still, every so often, it gives me a good idea. You can see over here this golden zone right here between the 50% and the 61.8. Okay, that right there, we'll do this. That right there is where price kind of tapped into and went down. So when we understand what's going on, what price is doing, it gives us a good idea. So again, this is the daily. For those of you who scalp and don't take, you're basically not swing traders, these things don't matter to you, but it still helps you to understand what to anticipate. So we can see that price is essentially kind of moving within this area here like this, right? And that tells you, based on what we know from retail patterns, that because it's channeling upwards, it's supposed to break down. Price doesn't usually channel like this and then shoot up. Unless you're trading indices, it'll do that. But for Forex pairs, I understand they're supposed to break down. So this tells us we should be looking for sells, okay? Just on market structure. Obviously, it's the daily, so there's a lot to go on with that. All right, so now that we know that this price is a price that kind of moves sideways for the most part, that means every time price goes down, it'll equally come back to the same spot just like this. Okay, for the most part, you can anticipate that price will at least reach back the same region and do this over and over and over again because it's a pair that kind of consolidates. All right, cool. So let's go down a little bit. Let's go down to the 1 hour now. So now in the 1 hour, look at this. While we understand we're over on a downtrend, we can see in the 1 hour, right, that we're trailing up. We understand that at some point, price is going to break down and come, break this low and then like continue to shoot down. But in the meantime, what can we do? So let's look at it from the standpoint of Caramel here and see if we can help him out. So right now, what do we know? We know that price was in a bearish trend. All right, price was going, let me just show you guys, up, down, up, down, up. Let's say here, right? Shot all the way down here, did a little bit of movement. As you could, I'm gonna like kind of just skip over this real quick. Okay, cool. Boom, 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 and now this. If you guys have also noticed, this pattern it happens all the time. Before price does these weird random like stretches, what do you notice? Consolidation, like every time. Let's go to some other places to see. Even on the way up, look at this. Price consolidates, right? And then shoots up. You'll see this happen over and over, especially towards the downside. If you trade indices, you know what I'm talking about. Price, before it gives you these long pushes towards the downside, there's always consolidation. Cool. So this tells me price, and this is how I trade indices, by the way, as well. So what happened? Price was coming down, making lower lows and lower highs, and then it consolidated and broke. You remember I told you guys about the market phase of consolidation, expansion, and distribution. So now that price has broken through, we might think this is the move. A lot of people would take this and say this is the breakout. So they enter here, put their stops just below, aim for a 1 to 2. Aim for a 1 to 2. Okay, in this case, you would have caught it. Sometimes price doesn't go that far, it comes to about here and retraces. This is not the actual move. The actual move is this on the way back up. When price expands out of the consolidation, it's looking for a zone to bounce off of. So it compressed, it shot out, it's planning to take out something over here or use something within this area to really go. So this tells us that there's actually a good chance price might be going up a bit more before, right, it does its real big move. We can also, because we don't know what price really will do, we can also see that price might actually come back to somewhere in these areas and use this, right? Let me do like this, and use this as a point of interest or a zone or whatever you want to call it, and then shoot downwards. All right, so now that we understand on the 1 hour, this is what's going on, we need to look for entries. We can see here that price went down, right? Gave us a lower low right here, then a lower high, and then a higher high, then a lower high, and then a higher low. And the reason why this is a higher low and we can confirm it is because price broke this high. Once price breaks another high or low, then you can say it's fully a lower lower, lower high, or higher lower, or whatever the case is, okay? So now that price has broken this, we understand price is starting to make bullish, it's starting to set bullish structure, okay? So now that that's going on, we have price breaking this high, right? Gets all the way up here, forms this low, then makes, gosh, I gotta stop doing that. Then makes this high, breaks this low, and always this is just to manipulate because it needs to take something. You can see it took this gap, and then now it's going towards the upside. So technically, we are bullish. The question Caramel needs to ask himself, depending on if he's a scalper, day trader, or a swing trader, is where is he most likely to catch his setup? If he's swing trading, right, and his mindset is still that, well, this is bearish movement, so we're still somewhat retracing, then he has to look for entries somewhere within these. Oh, okay, 1 second. There you guys go. So it hit TP. So that trade won. Cool. Let's go back to AUD CAD. So Caramel has to say, okay, if I'm a swing trader, he said, I'm usually a day swing trader. Perfect. All right. So if you're a swing trader, here's what, because let me explain to you what I would do first. Leaning towards the swing side. Excellent. Thank you, Caramel. This is what I would do first. If I'm a scalper, right, I don't really care about all that's going on here, except the fact that at some point, I can expect price to retrace at some of these levels. Somewhere within these areas, all the way up. Like, eventually, I'm going to get this type of reaction. This is all I need to worry about, is that price is at some point at these levels going to do something like this. So that's what I'm looking for. So when I zoom in, so for example, right now it's 10 o'clock. Let's go back a little bit so I can show you guys what I mean. I wake up at 6, shower, pray, then get to the charts. I usually get to the charts by 7. So let's just move it to 6 o'clock, okay? If I'm Caramel, right, I've come to the charts. I see that we're in an uptrend, right? I usually go down to the 15. I'm just going to do it as a scalper in my the way I trade. So I noticed that we are, heading towards somewhere where we might get a retracement. I'm going to mark out the zones that I think, okay, this can be a problem. So let's use this, for example. Okay, let's just say this is, let's not even call it supply. Let's just say it's regular support and resistance. Cool. So we know this area can be a problem. Where's the next area? Well, we can see over here that price consolidated at this zone, and then price bounced off of this zone and went down. So this could be an area. So let me use this. Let me change it to supply just so you guys can see. And then I'm going to just quickly make this like this so that you guys can see this zone right here was an area of consolidation. Okay, so these are the areas I'm looking at to say, if we're going down, these are the problematic areas. Now, if we're going up because we're in an uptrend, on the 15, I'm looking for gaps. All I really use is support and resistance. Excellent. To be honest, guys, like, people try to crap all over those concepts. The best traders I know on YouTube and in person and in real life, they trade support and resistance. And they are monsters when it comes to trading. So I don't know why people make it seem like it's some outdated model doesn't work. It works. All right. If you trade, so I saw a guy trade a bat one time. A bat. Okay. And he's making money. If you see a cow on the chart and it works for you, trade the cow. All right. So I would start looking for gaps, right? So I say to myself, okay, we have one bullish gap here for the 15. Before this area of consolidation, there was a push here from this gap. And then we have this area that price is already moving into. It's 6 o'clock. Let's move to 7 when I get on the charts. Okay, 7 o'clock. We also have to keep in mind we have news today, unemployment rate at 8:30. So this is another thing to take into consideration. I don't trade the news, but anyways, this is what I would look at. This is how I would look at it, and this is how I would trade it. So now I'm looking at this. I'm saying, okay, we have these two areas. The question I have to ask myself is, and this is what trading is about, what are the probabilities that price would do this? Come through here, maybe bounce a little bit and shoot down, right? What's the percentage of that? And what's the percentage that price will come down? Sorry, guys. That price will come down, bounce off of here, and break this high and continue towards the upside. So we have these two options. All right, I'm going to name this option A. Okay, and then we're going to make option B. So chat, I'm going to need you guys to participate just a little bit. What are the chances, just based on, there's no right or wrong answer. I could be wrong, and I'm showing you guys this. But what do you guys think the chances are of price hitting this and going up, or of price from this zone already just continuing down, bouncing off of here a little bit and going down? What do you guys think the chances are? For option A, tell me what so when you answer, for example, put A and then put beside it, let's say like 50%, right? And then when you do B, you're going to say B and you're going to say like 20% or whatever. Just tell me what the chances are in your opinion. All right, let's get some participation. Let's see. What do you guys think the chances are? Because this is how I approach my day. I look at trading is all about probabilities. We don't actually know. This trade that I took that went today, we were trending down and price at 9:30 was zooming towards the downside. I still took a buy because based on my back testing, my forward testing, my data, I have 4 years worth of data and all that I've been trading. I believe and I have seen that there's still a high chance, over 50-60%, that this trade will still play out. And it did. Okay. All right. So we got one answer from Caramel. Caramel said, I'm leaning towards B, maybe 60%. And he said A, around 20-ish. Excellent. Let's get at least one more guess in there, like one more opinion from someone else. What do you guys think the chances are? Okay, so for those of you who are just joining, we are trying to find out what the chances are for price to come down from this zone, bounce off, break structure, and go towards the upside, or price will come again from this zone, bounce up a little bit, and go down. All right, so this is B, this is A. What are the chances? What are the chances? What do you guys think? And again, no right or wrong answer. We're just all trying to figure this out. This is trading. Like no matter what we backtest, we could be, and I know you guys have experienced this. You're trading, you're backtesting, and in your backtesting sessions, you're like 90% win rate, 80% win rate. And then live environment, total different situation. It's because as we're watching real time, our minds are stimulated, our heart is up, adrenaline, all these things affect the way we make decisions, right? And sometimes you can have one bias or one idea, and then based on the way price reacts, you might change your bias. So that's what I'm saying. There's no right or wrong answer. What do you guys think? Let's get one more. Everybody just has Caramel just carrying the chat. Caramel, they owe you a drink after this, bro. Come on, guys. Let's get like one more. Let's get one more guess in there. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? What are the chances for A? What are the chances for B? What are the probabilities? Psychology ruins trading. Yeah, psychology makes trading tough. Yeah, the reason why they say psychology is like 80% trading or 90% whatever is because no matter what strategy and stuff you learn, it's the discipline and the psychology that actually gets you there. My anticipation is that it has to hit zone A before heading to zone B. Oh, okay. So I guess you're more so thinking of this one here, right? That like it has to hit zone, like it has to hit this area and then go down. So I guess, okay. So so you're leaning towards B. So I guess for B, let's say we'll split it 60-40 for you just so we can get this example going. So it seems like, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Donovan, but it seems like Donovan is anticipating that price will bounce off a little bit and go. Okay. And then Caramel said that he believes A is 20% as well. So he doesn't think it's going to bounce off of here. He thinks it's going to most likely continue from the side. So let's find out. Moment of truth. All right. So price, by the time I get to the charts at 7 o'clock, I only trade after 8:30, anywhere from 8:30 to 11. So all these things happening here. I trade on the 1 minute, by the way. All these things happening here mean nothing to me. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see. Let me do it like this so we can see the zone. Perfect. Okay. And I'm going to try and make it a bit bigger. All right. So let's see what happens here. All right. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. All right. Price starts pushing up. Let's see what happens at 8:30 because we have news at that time. And there we go. So look at this. Look at this. 8:30. What does price do? What do you guys think happened here? What's the meaning of this wick? This is all, as you guys are aware, a bunch of highs right here. A bunch. A bunch of highs right there. Right? So price does this with indices. That's why I always wait till after 9:30. If you are in a trade before news or any high volume situation happens, price will most, like 99% of the time, take your stops before it goes in your direction. Okay, everybody who entered here was anticipating, let's say they entered here or something like that. They probably have their stops like right here, right? Or even here, because we were told, put it before the last swing high or swing low, depending on which direction you're going in. What does price do? Price makes sure to say, hey, I just came to take your money real quick, and now I'm going to go in your direction. And when we see this, we shed tears. Because when you look at how much you're going to make versus what happened, it hurts your soul, right? So as soon as the 8:30 candle hit, price went up, zoomed up first, and then now we're entering our area here. Now, I just want to share something with you guys. These two areas we have here are called points of interest. It means we believe, based on previous price action, especially for this zone, that price is interested in that zone. Whenever it gets to that area, that's where we're going to see some reaction. Now, over here, we don't really have any history. So I can see why everybody is saying there's a low chance it's going to bounce off of here, but you never know. Caramel said, those liquidity grabs are so soul crushing. Bro, story of my life. I won't even get to that. We'll talk about that in a sec. So here we are. Price has taken us out at the top there. And now, well, not us because we weren't in this trade at this time. It's 8:30. Now price has tapped this zone and is starting to bounce up. Based on what we're seeing here, guys, should we enter a trade or should we wait for confirmation? Let's get like one or two, answers in here. Should we continue or wait for confirmation? Take your time with this one. I'm going to continue to eat my breakfast. Oh, it's a little cold now. All right, Caramel said wait. Let's get another guest in there. Who else? What do you guys think? Let's get one more in there. If we don't get an answer in the next like 30 seconds, I'm going to just move on. What else do you guys think? There's no right or wrong answer, guys. We're just analyzing. Remember, this in real time, you don't have the luxury of saying, let me just move forward a couple candles to see what happens. You don't have that. So you got to look at things as they appear. What do you guys think? All right, chat is quiet on me. No problem. Let's get this going for Caramel's sake. I think wait because you have to see if the liquidity grab is a valid level of resistance now. That's a good point. See, that's not something I would look for, but that's a good point. And this is why I'm saying that there's no right or wrong answer. The way Caramel is looking at things is this is what he has come to recognize and understand. It's perfect. Donovan said, on that point, it depends with the strategy a person used. Personally, I can wait for a good confirmation. I agree with both of you guys. I would personally wait, if I'm being honest. I would not enter into anything right now. Even as somebody who trades the 1 minute on indices, I have no confirmation. I have nothing that tells me to get in for a buy or a sell. So let's see what happens. It's 8:47. All right. Now it's 9 o'clock. All right, cool. Now, for me, this is a clear confirmation for me. For me. On indices, this is my sign to get in. For indices, I'm in around here. Sometimes I wait for a retracement to about this gap here. And my aim is for a 1 to 2. That's it. And I know you're thinking it's a strong zone, but I wouldn't do this on Forex because I don't know how Forex moves. But on indices, this is enough. The way these candles move, in the next 3-4 candles, it should break this high, this high here, and hit our take profit. So this is what I would do now. Somebody else said, is it Wyra? If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, let me know. Wyra said, wait for confirmation. Excellent. Now, I should have asked you guys what your bias is. But anyways, I'm telling you what I would do as a scalper if this was indices. I'm in this trade already. Because based on my back testing, this is a high probability trade. Okay? And let's see what happens. Boom. Take profit for me. This is all I need. This is how I trade. Because remember, I'm scalping. If I was on the 15 minute, the 30 minute, I'm not touching that. Hell no. I have no information. Like, let's go back to the 15. This is just choppiness. Nothing tells me I can get in. But on the 1 minute, because I'm a scalper, all I needed to see was price giving my pattern. Price was going down, right? Up, down, whatever. Let's just draw this kind of bad. Kind of broke structure. Like it wicked, right? Came back down. Oops. Went up, down, and broke. This is all I need to see. Why is this enough for me? I'll explain to you guys. Remember what I said earlier on the 15-minute chart. These two areas are points of interest. By the time we got to the charts, price had already moved from this zone. I've already missed that train. Now what I'm going to see is that when price gets to this level, if I can catch a piece of that move, and if there's anything that tells me to get in at that move, okay? When price got to this level, it's a point of interest for me, right? We are in the short term, even though we can tell that price may continue to shoot down from here, in the short term, from here to here, we are in a bullish trend. So that means that at some point from here to here, oops, sorry guys. Computer's fighting against me. All right. From here to here, at some point, we're going to get what? A retracement. We just don't know what level. So this is literally all I do. I look at it that way. I wait for price to come down to the 1 minute. I get in, I always put in 2 positions just like that. Sometimes I'll move this down a little bit because when I enter a second position, I tell myself it has to give me at least a 1 to 4. 1 to 3, 1 to 4. And this is what I do. One trade gives me a 1 to 2. The other one gives me a 1 to 4. So if it was a 100K account, the first position is 500. Second position is 500. This goes 5 times 2. That's 1,000. This goes 5 times 4. That's 2,000. This one position gives me a 1 to 3, essentially. Okay, as opposed to risking entering here and holding it for a 1 to 4. All right, so let's move that for a sec. So this trade hits TP. That's all I need to see. Now let's go down to the 50, go back up to the 15-minute, and let's see overall what happens if A played out or if B played out. Now remember, Caramel is more of a swing trader. So what Caramel would need to see, let's take some of these things off right now. Caramel would need to at least see a break of structure. Okay, we have all these like highs right here. Price came down from here. Okay, gave us a little bit of this, and this is like really choppy price action. Even this is like if Caramel wants to be aggressive to go in, he would look at something like this. Otherwise, he might want to even wait for more things, which we will discuss in a second. Okay, so at this point, Caramel can say when price breaks either here or maybe here, right? Then I'll get in for a trade. Let me see something here. It says, yes, we need you to do Forex for 30 days. All right, I'm going to do my best, bro. I'm going to give it a shot and see how it happens. See what happens. And he says, see if you can pass a challenge with Forex. I'll try that. I'm not opposed to trying that. I'll buy a challenge and then we will do this every day. That was a clear buy because something showed up there. Considering the area, we had a double bottom plus minus support. So this is interesting. I'm glad that Donovan brought this up. So you notice how Donovan said we had a double bottom. That's what he's looking for. This is why, like, if you watch videos, including what I'm telling you right now, don't take it all as the end all be all. You are going to, you're wired. I need you guys to understand this. You're wired a certain way. You guys can take 10 courses and maybe only 1 or 2 of them will resonate with you. It's not because the strategies don't work. It's because the way your brain is wired, your pattern recognition is different. Your impulses are different. The way you respond to the stimuli is different. So I can tell somebody here, I'll give you an example. Some people are comfortable buying when price is coming down. You see what I'm saying? Or selling when price is going up. Other people are like, no, I need price to already be moving upwards before I buy. And I need price to already be going down before I sell. That's a personality trait. So you need to understand you so that you can find the strategy that matches with you the best and execute and or build, configure that strategy based on your personality. All right. Caramel said trading is crazy. Oh, there is never a right answer. That's the whole point. Like, who's to say this trade that I took didn't lose, right? Who's to say? Like, we don't know for sure what price is going to do. We can only look at probabilities. Wyra said, nice. So your confirmation is a higher time frame for a small time frame. Essentially, yes. Essentially, that's all it is. I look at a higher time frame for point of interest. I wait for my pattern. I'm in. That's it. That's all I can do. Anytime you add more things to it, you have what's called analysis paralysis. When I start saying, okay, I see a break of structure, but at the same time up here, there's gaps. And I can also see this was a wick. There's a chance that maybe right here, because there's an order, bro, you're going to kill yourself. Just don't overthink it. What you're looking for is 3 things. Market direction. Let me write this down. Maybe you guys might want to screenshot this or something. I talked about this yesterday. There are 3 things that we look for in the market. Oh gosh, bro, I can't type today. So we have market direction. Okay. We have, or trend, right? We have a point of interest. Okay. And then we have a pattern. Okay. I'm going to put in brackets candlesticks. Oops. Candlesticks. Okay. And I'm just going to explain this very briefly. These are the 3 things you essentially need when you are trading. Once you know the direction of the market, or the trend, or the phase you're in, consolidation, whatever, you have to identify an area where if price goes to, you're expecting a reaction. The reaction you're expecting when you get to that zone is your pattern. That's it. Once you see your pattern, listen to me very carefully, guys. Your job as a trader is not to, oh, I feel this one and it won't work. Don't feel. My best, most sniper entry trades are the one where I said, nah, bro, I'm about to get taken out because based on how things are, I feel like it's going to take me out. But based on my strategy and the rules for my strategy, I'm supposed to enter. So my job as a trader is to show up every day, analyze. And when it gets to like when the chart shows me things that is on my list. My job is to execute. That's it. If I fail to execute, I have failed as a trader. That's where you lose as a trader, not because you took a loss. You'll make it back on the next one, right? So these are the 3 things that you need. Let me check the chat real quick. I see it's kind of moving a little bit. I did a bunch of YouTube content and recently did the FX LXG course, and that was legit the first one that I started actually understanding trading. LOL. To be quite honest with you, I watched Alex G about a year or so ago. He had this one video where he kind of took like this McDonald's worker and was showing him like basic market structure and stuff. I learned a lot from that video because he broke everything. He's very simple with his trading. If you notice, he usually will wait for like kind of like what I'm doing, an area of interest, wait for his engulfing pattern or a head and shoulders, as Caramel pointed out, and then he's in his trade. Right? I've watched a lot of traders say like their trading rules or steps comes down to like 3 things. I adopted the same thing and it works. Don't have my trading list, I'll show you guys later on, used to be like 15 different points. How many things you're going to check off? You're going to miss the trade, especially on the 1 minute, right? So that's a great point. Cameron said, I needed dumbed down Barney style. That's just my personality. Bro, it's all good, man. Sometimes you hear, and I'm not talking trash about ICT or the SMC community. I'm just saying this is why sometimes learning those concepts are a bit complicated because of all the terminology and all the different concepts you have to learn. Not everybody understands that. It's just how it is. You would never take a trade if you're over paralyzed. Absolutely. Sometimes you just got a YOLO. Listen, sometimes you YOLO and it goes well, and sometimes you YOLO and you sit in the corner and cry for a little bit. You know what I mean? I remember when I took my first FTO challenge, bro, I made a stupid move. I came out the office. My wife said, baby, all right? How's trading going? I'm like, it's great, right? And deep down inside, I'm like crying, right? It's terrible. So the other thing I can personally consider, there is a candlestick print and psychology behind a candlestick trend is our friend. Marking key areas is fantastic. Absolutely, Donovan. Somebody said, Jeffrey said, I'm down 3% this week. Listen, Jeffrey, I'll give you great advice. If you're down 3%, I was recently down on an account. I was down, if I was trading 1%, I was supposed to be down 6%, 6 or 7%. But you know what happened as soon as I went below the threshold for the account? So I'll give you an example. I'll write it over here so you guys can see as well. So imagine my account is 100K, okay? 100K account. When I'm above 100K, let's say I'm at 101, guess what I'm doing? I'm risking 1% because I have the cushion. The second this account goes to 99 anything, right? I don't want to put XXX. Let me just put whatever, 000, whatever. The second it goes to 99, it doesn't matter what the digit is. Guess what I do? I risk 0.5. When you guys finally get funded, you know what keeps your funded account? Risk management. You can't continue to risk 1% when you're down. Risk 0.5. What happened is that I should have been down 6%, but I was only down, just like you, 3%. You know what I did? 0.5, 1 to 2. Did that in like 4 trades. I was back up to break even. Now I can start risking 1%. So if you're down 3%, please don't risk 1%. Risk 0.5. Okay? And on trades where you feel like it's not that great, but you're itchy, you just want to go and do 0.25. You see what I'm saying? Risk management. Psychology, strategy, risk management. The greatest of these 3, even though psychology is very important, is actually risk management. Do you know if I tell you, guys, let's flip a coin and let's trade and go for 1 to 2 every time, it doesn't matter what direction. If we manage our risk, we will not only stay in the game, we'll be profitable. Risk management is key. Okay, so I hope that, I'm not an expert, guys. I'm not even like teaching. I'm just sharing my experience of what I would do, but I hope that helps. Caramel said, deep inside, you're dying from trading LMAO. Bro, trading is so crazy. People ask you, how's trading going? You're like, it's great. And you don't even want to open your laptop because it's all red, right? It gets so crazy. That is us every day in the markets, but it pays off. You know what happens when we finally do it? Everybody comes asking, yo, teach me. And they think that when you show them your strategy, they will win. No, you need my psychology in order to do what I do. That's the key. So you guys getting beat up in the markets, don't lose hope. It'll make you way more formidable. It'll make you stronger. You're going to be a beast when everything's said and done. I was telling you guys earlier in the beginning of this live, my wife and I have 4 businesses. The way our brains are set and the things I've implemented in my business, half of them are from trading. I come from a business background already, but when I learned certain things in trading, it helped me to really fine tune the businesses. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to share more stuff with you guys. I have a lot of stuff coming on the channel. You guys will get to know me a bit more, but just understand, don't ever give up on this journey. You're just like 1 trade away from success. I promise you. When you finally pass and you get over that hump, you're good. Donovan said, Men at work, lol. Trading is a stressing business. Yo, trading. Somebody said it best. They said trading is the hardest way to make quick money. I'm a full-time ER nurse. Oh, shout out to you, Caramel. First off, you should be very proud of yourself, Caramel. Like, people, because of social media, they're downplaying jobs. As if, let me tell you guys right now, I would rather have a high-performing business than a good trading account. Business is better than trading. That's why if you guys notice in my videos, I'm not hungry to like pass a challenge or lose the money. I don't care about anything because I don't need trading technically. I make money other ways, and I make money as stressful as business and customers and clients can be. Trading is like it can be way worse, right? So trading, it's hard to make it consistent sometimes. Sometimes I'll be there for like a month. I took like 4 trades the whole month because my setups just weren't there. Business, every day somebody's asking you something, doing something, you can make money. So if you're an ER nurse, shout out to you. You're making a steady income. Never look down on the fact that you have a job. You're making way more than most people. And if you learn to trade in addition to that, then what you have is a vehicle to accelerate the growth of your money. You're in a great place, my friend. And to everybody else who's working a job, don't be ashamed. Go to your job with pride, make your money. You are far better than the other people who are just out here trying to YOLO it and hope that trading will work. All right. Yeah, so I'm a full-time ER in a populated city, and trading is significantly more stressful than what I do. And he works at the hospital, bro. People at the hospital are insane. And if he says trading is more stressful, he's not lying. Trading is crazy. Jeffrey said, it's weeks like these where I feel like I'm going to look for a job at McDonald's. Bro, let me tell you something. When I got married, right? When my wife and I first got married, everything was okay. Then a situation happened. We went under, broke, destroyed. I almost became homeless like twice, right? So when people see me now, they're like, oh wow. But anyways, we almost went homeless twice. And there were jobs before, I got married. I'm like, I would never do that job. Never. Right? Because when you're young and you got certain things going on, or even you're living with your parents, you don't really see the urgency to grind. You just think, I got to do what I got to do, kind of get through, buy a car, do what you got to do, and just kind of enjoy life. But when I was married and now I have a dependent, oh shoot, I got to work whatever I can work. Don't be ashamed to do your McDonald's job if you have to. The whole thing is to get an income. Once you get that income and this works out for you, you are blessed. Like, you are clear. Think about it. When this works out for you, 100K challenge account that you pass and make even 2% on 2,000 USD, right, is not enough to change your life, but it's a great start. Now, what happens if you have 2 accounts like that, 3 accounts? And you have a trade copier, or you're able to take that account from, let's say, 2% to 4% consistently. Remember, most platforms allow you to get paid almost at least every week or every 2 weeks. So if you can make 2% every 2 weeks, what does your life look like? When my wife and I were dead broke and we almost went homeless, I got a job at the dealership, crushed it 1 month. I sold these trucks. There was I think 15K profit in each truck. So they asked me, do you want the money in one shot, or do you want us to pay you every so often? Now, most people be like, give me the 50K or the 60. I said, pay me every so often. The reason is, and you guys will learn this, consistent cash flow is what everyone in the world wants. When people say I want passive income, they want money coming in without a lot of effort. Everyone wants cash flow, not high profits. Because if I made 50K this month and lost 40K last month, what's the point? But if I have 10K coming in every month, oh, that's a sweet life. You see what I'm saying? So I told them, pay me gradually. You see what I'm saying? And then as I was getting paid, I was using the pay and taking time to build myself, look into businesses, all those things. So yeah, I just want to say that there. Jeffrey, don't be afraid to do your job. Wyra said, I agree. Shout out to you, Wyra. Caramel said, I picked up trading for additional income, but also I'm always hungry for new skills. I was in the army. Now I'm a nurse. Now I'm trying to learn trading. And he said, LMAO. Bro, there's nothing wrong with that. Let me just say something, guys. I'm not trying to preach to you guys or even get into the whole gender this and all this. I'm trying to tell you guys, as if you guys are men, as men, this is what our lives are like. I have 5 sisters. And I've been in situations where I've had to hire people, interview people, counsel people. And this is what I've learned between men and women. Women are very structured, very systematic. They usually have 10 steps ahead as to what they want to do, and they'll follow it. Men, we are all trying to get it. We don't want to do I'm an RN, let's say I'm a nurse, and I'm making good pay. As a man, you're like, I want to be the top doctor. This is our mindset. This is just how it is. They did a study. They took 100 of the best managers in the world. 70% of them were women. And when they looked into it, they found out that when they asked the women, what are your projections for this month, this year. They're like, okay, we're going to make like 100K. And they had steps to do it. All the men were like, this month, this year, we're going to make 10 mil. And they were never close because we always swing for the fence. So as a man, if you find yourself, it's very difficult to find yourself. As a man, you probably have a lot of interest. There's a lot of things that interest you. I'm one of those. I love cars. I love trading. I love business. I love some parts of math, chemistry, physics. I love tech. I love a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? And your interest will kind of push from side to side, and you'll try this and you'll try that. I've tried drop shipping before. I had a little bit of success in drop shipping, not much. I've tried a lot of businesses. A lot of them failed, but it's part of the journey of becoming who you are. Don't be ashamed to say, man, I'm an RN, and it's fine. Eventually, everything will click, and you will be the person God designed you to be. You see what I'm saying? The problem in life is that when you look at birds and stuff, they don't try to do anything other than fly and do what they do because they're programmed that way. Us, God made us a certain way, but we're always looking for the things external. I'll give you guys an example. Everybody in this world has a gift, but the reason why most people don't recognize their gift is because they take it for granted. And the reason why they take their gift for granted is because it comes to them easy. Your gift is usually the thing you can do best with the least amount of effort. That's your gift. So I'll give you an example. If Donovan's gift is to teach, if you told Donovan to be a teacher, he'd be like, I don't really want to be a teacher. And they would say to him, but Donovan, you're so good at it. Be like, yeah, but I'm more interested in becoming a trader. And Donovan spends his whole life trying to become a trader when God made him to be a teacher. But if Donovan is blessed, what will happen is that in his journey to becoming a trader, he will learn enough to the point where he can become a teacher in the trading space. This is our lives, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So this is not gender, nothing. This is not preaching. I'm just telling you guys what I've observed. Okay. Don't be offended by anything I say. There were a lot of comments that I missed here. Okay. Caramel said, it's true. I'd rather pull in an additional 2 to 3K month than to make 50K at all at once. 100%. I agree with that. Wara said, man, I'm jobless and now I'm learning trading for a prop firm. Please guide me, man. I'll do my best, guys. I'm no mentor. I started my channel because I see a lot of traders on the internet showing it, making it seem like it's super easy. And yes, once you get to a certain point, it's easier. But you guys, if you notice some of these, go look at some of these traders. They post like once a month because the rest of the days they're not green, they're red. Okay, let me show you guys full transparency so you guys can know who I am. Trading calendar. Look at this. I haven't updated today's went on there, but look. So look at this. Let me show you guys my last month. This was my last month. Okay, this was my month before. Okay, this was the month before that. And do I have anything for April? And there, right? So you have red days, but the green days are so good they make up for the red days, and you're way more profitable. Okay, and now in August I have this. I have to upload today with the 2% gain for 3 accounts. I traded 3 accounts today. Okay, so don't feel. You see what I'm saying? Don't feel like you don't know what you're doing. You're the only one. I started this channel because I'm just an average Joe, and I wanted to show on YouTube that an average person, this is what their trading days look like. That's why I started. But I'll do my best to share with you what I've learned. So shout out to you, Wire. That was a great comment. Caramel said, yeah, I figured once I got my nursing degree, I would be happy. But now I'm like, I need to learn Forex. Then I'm starting school in January for my master's. Bro, I'm telling you, this is just how it's going to go. Eventually, the best way I could put it is like you're waiting for the click. Something's gonna click where you're gonna be like, oh, this is it. It's just you have to stumble across it. There's a guy, he was a doctor for many years, depressed, hated his job, but there was one part of his job he loved. When patients came in, when he would talk to them and figure out, do his diagnosis and probe with them and figure out what was wrong, he loved that. He loved seeing people transform. He loved the look on their faces. Somebody said to him, why don't you just do that? So he did. Now he's a multimillionaire doing that. He doesn't do his doctor profession anymore. He just counsels people and gives them recommendations for their life. And this is how you stumble across your greatness. Okay, it finds you in a sense. So don't be afraid of that and don't be too worried. Cameron said, yes, I have way too many interests. Welcome to the club, brother. And then he said, preach. Amen. And then Jeffrey said, I feel like as men, we lack discipline more than women. Bro, I'm telling you, my wife, if my wife and I sit together and we're trying to plan something, she's so structured. She's amazing at the way she'll put me. I'm a visionary type of leader. I'm like, nah, we're going to do it this high and this. And when we go into it without her structure, things can really fall apart. You see what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying. Cameron said, you definitely gained a new long-term fan from me today. Love the transparency and the comparisons of life and trading And then Wire said, thanks, man. You guys are welcome. I love each and every one of you guys. I say this all the time. I sincerely appreciate you guys. And the goal was to actually come off at 11. So here's what I'll do, because I'm behind. I'm getting messages from different people and companies and whatnot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay on here for a next 10 minutes just so we can finish this up. So at least you guys can get a full lesson. And then you guys hit me up on Instagram and let's figure out a time. What's an appropriate time for you guys? Let me know or if you can even tell me in the chat right now, what's a good time for us to go streaming every day? I can try and go live every day or a couple times a week, and we can chop it up, learn, trade together, and see what we can do. And it's free, guys. There's no charge, no subscription. And then we can start a Discord where we can share ideas and all that. So, I love each and every one of you guys. I'm going to continue. I think I've read all the comments I have. I'm going to continue doing this breakdown real quick before I get out of here. And like I said, let me know in the chats or hit me up. All right. Okay. So for me, this pattern was enough for me to get in. As you guys saw, I hit a 1 to 2. For Caramel, who is, let's say, maybe more of a swing trader. So even 15-minute time frame might be his entry, but swing traders, from what I understand, they look at like the 1 hour, 4 hour type time zone, right? So for him, he's not, if he's looking at the 4 hour before he gets in, he might say, okay, price came to this level, gave me an engulfing. Let me wait for a retracement to get back in here, right? Let's say somewhere like in here, put his stop loss maybe just above the wick there, and then aim for like a 1 to 2. That's what he might do. Okay, if he's looking at it from, let's say the maybe half hour type situation, he might say, okay, in the short term, I may be able to grab a quick scalp, even though he's a swing trader. Or he might still say, I see some gaps in here. For example, all the way up here, you can see that there's a nice gap. I'll explain to you guys what I'm looking at. So there's a bearish fair value gap there, but there's also what some people draw their order blocks a different way. I've seen it so many ways. Some people do it like this, where it's like the last opposite candle before the push is the order block. Other people say like the last kind of like move. Okay, to me, that's a bit wide. I like mine a little bit more accurate. So I would look at something like this. So Caramel might say when price retraces to this level, somewhere here, I'm going to wait for maybe an engulfing candle. Once I get an engulfing candle, I'm in, stops, above there, aiming for a 1 to 2, 1 to 5, whatever the case is. If he's trading around the 15, like what I was about to do next, he might say, okay, we might still take a trade from somewhere up here, but I might be able to catch a little retracement from here. Remember, I'm a scalper at heart, so I'm still looking at this from a scalper's point of view. So he might say, let me see if I can, oh shoot. What happened here? Today is, oh shoot, this is from today. My fault. So right now we're currently at 11:30. So we've kind of already pushed the replay mode to the end. So unfortunately, I can't really show you, but I can tell you in theory what he might be able to do. I think we have a ghost pattern thing on here, right? Somewhere. Where is it? No, maybe it's ghost feed. I think that's what it is, where you kind of like, let's say, do something like this and then like that. Yeah, there we go. So just bear with me, guys. It's a poor illustration, but just bear with me. So Caramel might say, okay, when price breaks, above here like this, maybe breaks this, gives me a solid candle, I might get in, put my stops here, maybe even here, just to be safe. You always, by the way, guys, I always put, no matter how big it makes my stop loss, my stop will always go below the last low or the last high. Below the last low or above the last high, always. Because anything in between here is fair game. They can do whatever they want within that time. The reason why you put it before a recent structure point or swing low or swing high is because if price breaks this level, then price is most likely going down the other way. Okay, so this is interesting because and this is another thing I've learned too, knowing that this might be there, even though I'm aiming for a 1 to 2, let's say, just do this real quick. Even though I'm aiming for a 1 to 2, the second price gets to this area, if I start to see any bit of resistance, it looks like it might come down, I'm closing my trade. Because we're overall expecting a downtrend. So I'm not going to try and play too brave and hold my trade. Okay? Most of you guys, when we started this, you guys said that A was likely not going to be the case. It was most likely going to be B. And as you can see, we kind of tapped here. We had this kind of come up this way, and now it's heading this way. So for those of you who thought it was B, right? You might be right. Now the question is, how could you have taken advantage of B? Since B was what we were thinking, how could you have taken advantage of it? What you could have done is say, let's look at a couple things. We have a little bit of a support here that may turn into a resistance, right? So you can say, okay, I'm going to wait and see what price does when it gets to this level, right? You might also say, I'm going to look at some gaps in here. Okay, I'm going to look and see there's a gap right here. Perfect. So when price gets to this gap, I'm going to enter, put my stops above. There's no swing point, so this would suck. You'd have to push it all the way here. But let's just say, for the sake of the example, and then I would aim for 1 to 2. Right? So the reason why I'm bringing this up is not to say just guess and go in. It's to say sometimes you don't need much. Once you see something that kind of points in your direction, just enter the trade. So if price came to this area, gave you some rejections and then an engulfing or something, enter the trade. You can even enter here like this, put your stops below, above here like that, and aim for 1 to 2. Now you might say, well, that's not a very good trade. But remember, trading is probabilities. There's a good chance it might go your way. You might even make a 1 to 2 and then close, or maybe hold for the whole 1 to 3. It doesn't ultimately matter as long as you execute based on your rules, right? So it's hard for me to kind of give you guys better examples because we're kind of out of space and out of real estate for this. But I hope you guys still understand the concept that if you are waiting for that, there are things you would now look for in this range for a retracement or an entry. And that's it. Don't overthink it. What's your entry? You're waiting for an engulfing. As soon as you see that engulfing, I don't care if there was a wick at the bottom of that engulfing. Enter the trade. You are not, a fortune teller or a mind reader. You don't know what the market is going to do. Just get in, enter your trade, and over time, doing this 1 to 2, you just got to win how many times? 5 times. If I take 10 trades and I lose 5, I've lost 5%. If I've won 5 and I've gained 2%, I'll still be up 5%. This is trading, ladies and gentlemen. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of wrap up here by reading the rest of the comments, and then we will bid each other farewell. And then we have to think of a name for this group, right? But we'll do all that later on. So Caramel said, I usually work nights, so like between 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time too. Perfect. So that works for me. That's around my time. You need to make the Discord. I will. If you guys know how to do it, like help me out with it, I'll look into it as well. It's just after this, I have a lot of things I'm going to go do right now. So by the time I even try and look at Discord, it's probably going to be like 8 in the night, my time, but I'll do my best. Jeffrey said, I think after New York trading session is good. So when you say after New York trading session, for me, my session stops at 11 because I don't trade after that. I think that's a good time to start around 11. I'm not opposed to that as well. Let me know, or if you have more clarification on that, that'd be great. Caramel said, that's a smart move, noticing resistance, then just taking the profit. Absolutely. If you stream tomorrow, I'd be interested to see if this is how it went. I will stream tomorrow, guys. I will stream tomorrow. But tomorrow's Saturday. So the market will probably, but you know what? We still have we will check this tomorrow. So I'll leave this open. We'll check this tomorrow, and then tomorrow I'll stream. All right. So I will do my best to work on the Discord and all these things so that I can announce to you guys like, hey, join the live. But in the meantime, please subscribe, like, share, comment, do something just to help me out with the algorithm. But also that way, if you subscribe, you can be notified when I go live. All right. With that being said, guys, I mean it from the depths of my heart. Jeffrey said 12. Okay, from 12. I'll keep all of this here. I'm going to screenshot everything and keep it and then compile a list. But with that being said, guys, I love each and every one of you. Thank you, all of you who joined, interacted. It was lovely. We hope to do more of these. And God willing, I will see you guys again. So until next time, I'll catch you in the next one.